Good morning. It's Elaine. I've come back today. This is probably going to be a two-part video that I'm going to do. I've decided I'm waiting on my grapevines to be delivered and needing something to do. Of course, I was on YouTube and decided I'd like to try to make a bee skep. Beehive, if you would. So after watching some videos, I thought, well, I think I'd like to make one and be able to use it as a centerpiece and create a floral design in it. So I just thought I'd take you along and we would use this planter as a base. We're going to be using some rope. We'll need plenty of hot glue. I've got my hot glue gun, and we're going to wing it today. Eventually, if this comes out, what I want to do is to make a centerpiece with it, and these are the florals that I'll be using. That will probably be in the second part of our video. Those florals with some bee ribbon, if you can see that. And I thought this would look nice. And then I also have this stripe. We'll make a bow to go on our centerpiece, but like I said, that will probably be in another video. But just to let you know where I'm going with this, I'd like to create the skep. And when I get to the top, they're usually finished and have a handle, but like I said, I want to make this a base for a centerpiece. So I have gone ahead and picked up some floral foam that I thought I would be able to place on the top, that I'd be able to do my floral arranging in. So I picked up these discs. But I also picked up a styrofoam ball, which I'll cut in half, and to give us a rounded effect to our skep. But that I'm not sure about. So anyway, these are some of the products that I would be using. Also picked up these little bees that I'll decorate around the skep. But again, those will be used later. A little bit of black paint is needed to create the illusion of the opening to the skep. And I've just picked up a brush, which these things I picked up at the Dollar Tree. So let's see how far we get. Introduce myself. My name is Elaine. I'm owner and creator at Inspired by My Angel, CLM. I have a shop on Etsy where this will hopefully be listed when we're completed. And I'm new at the art of wreath making and floral design. And what my desire is, and I thought perhaps helpful to all of you, would be to give you that perspective to someone just learning and take you on my journey. So that's the reason for these videos, and hopefully inspire you to try playing with the florals. And hopefully, I know for myself, I have found my joy. And that's what I'm hoping for all of you who may be watching this, that you'll find joy in doing this and perhaps find that you have a talent and enjoy the art. So, first of all, as I said, I was watching on YouTube, and there's various ways that people were making these, and I just thought perhaps this one would work best for me. So I'm going to use this flower pot, which I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Turning it upside down, it does remind me of a hive or skep. And using twine, that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree. I've gotten quite a few of these. I think I purchased 6. I'm not sure how many it's going to take. And the process begins with adhering our rope to our planter. So let's get started. I've never done this. We'll see how it comes out. I'm just going to apply a small bead of glue and attach our rope. I'll just hold that until it begins to dry. And what we're trying to do is to cover our pot with this rope. I'm going to try to keep it as neat as I can. Like I said, we're doing this together. I've never done this before. It could come out fantastic, or it could be one of my disasters. We'll see. We'll do it together. But I know the bee theme is popular. I've made wreaths with that bee theme that I have sold, and I do have in my Etsy shop. If you wanted to check that out, just go to my Etsy shop, Inspired by My Angel, CLM. And what I thought, this would look very nice if you had the wreath. I know I have a little table and chairs set up by my front door, and I thought this as a centerpiece along with the wreath hanging on the door. I also keep a lantern, and I would create a bow for the top of my lantern and have a little vignette as people came to the door. And this could be used inside as well, in the kitchen. So that's why I'm doing a rather larger pot, is because my intent is to make a centerpiece from this, using this as my base for my centerpiece. I know this is more doing a crafty, but as I said, when I first started doing these videos, I'd like to take you on my journey. And today my journey has brought me to trying to create my own base for a centerpiece. So that's what we're doing. So I'm just applying the glue in. I probably could go a little further with my glue. A small bead of glue. Rubbing my fingers over it, making sure I'm getting good contact with the glue. Keeping it even. And my thoughts also are to finish off the bottom. I would use I'm thinking a foam board or cardboard, and I'll cover that in felt to give it a finished result. And I thought the felt, it wouldn't scratch anyone's if they were using this on their dining room table. Would be protecting it. Okay, so we've made it around once. So next I'm going to go on top of our first row and touching the flower pot at the same time. I'm getting brave and placing a little more glue. I was unsure of how much glue I would be able to put down, but this seems to be fine. I'm trying not to make that bead so thick that it's going to spill over. I want to keep this as neat as possible. I need to add some more glue to my glue gun. Okay. And again, I'm placing it so that the glue bead is on the rope and on our plastic planter. And then just going back, pressing it so we make good contact. And I was just thinking, this isn't something that you could just go out and purchase. So it would be a unique centerpiece when it's all done. And it just gives me some time out here creating, which is what I found to be my passion. And thought you might enjoy learning with me. And hopefully this comes out well, and it's something that you'll want to try to do also. I realize this is a little tedious. I know some of the videos that I do watch, they stop and then begin again once one of the processes of the project is completed. But if this begins to move a little quicker, I'm hoping we can just do it together in the one video. I'll do this video on how to make the skep, and I'll do another video when I'm ready to make our centerpiece. And that's something that we can do together as well. Okay, looks like we're going to come to the end of our first package of rope. I think I bought 6. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Again, I got these at the Dollar Tree, $1. Okay. I did go ahead and open. There's a little plastic on here that's holding the ends. I'm going to leave that on and perhaps later take a blade, razor blade, and remove it. But I'm a little fearful that it may come unraveled. So I am going to leave that in place. And if it shows too much, like I said, I'll go back and probably just slit along that tape and we can remove it. Okay, so this is what we've got with our first rope. You can't really see that plastic all that much, but that's looking nice and neat. So now we'll attach our next piece and start. See how far we get. So I'm just going to butt those up together, holding that. Try to keep my nose out of the picture. I have a tendency to lean in, and I don't think that's necessary. You can see it if I hold it back like this. So again, we're just repeating what we did. There is a little ridge in this planter, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because the rope is sitting on top of itself, so I don't think that'll be noticeable. All of the pots that I saw there at Dollar Tree had a ridge. So this is what I did yesterday because I'm waiting on supplies to make wreaths. I spent some time having a cup of coffee and watching my favorite YouTube, and saw this and I thought, oh, that would be nice, different. So here we are, we're getting to the top. We're at that ridge. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be an issue because of the thickness of the rope that we're using. They sell a very thin, more like a jute twine, but I maybe it would work, but I just thought that this rope, you can see, that's coming nice. Of course, as we go up, the pot narrows, so it should get a little quicker for us. Just going back over, making sure I'm pressing that rope into the glue. In some of the videos that I watched, they used a bowl as a template to get their shape, but they removed this rope from it. And I mean, it did stand on itself, but I want to use this as a base for a centerpiece, and I didn't feel as though that would be sturdy enough, so that's why I'm adhering this right to our planter. For my application, I think this is what's going to work better. But they were doing them just using a bowl as a template. Some people were covering it with a plastic wrap so it would be easier to get off of whatever it was. One person was using a KitchenAid stainless steel mixing bowl. I mean, you could make these in all different sizes depending on what you were using as your template. If you just wanted to make a small one that you could create a little vignette on your kitchen counter with some other bee items and perhaps a honey jar would look cute. So, I mean, you'll be able to use your imagination and come up with other ideas. As you can see, so far so good. It's not difficult. And it's looking very neat. except for right there. I went off a little, so I'm going to try to wipe that. And I'm almost ready for another glue stick. So this does use quite a bit of glue. I did purchase this Surebonder cordless glue gun, which I am enjoying because I've mentioned in previous videos I'm not very good with the glue gun. I have a tendency to burn myself, but I'm finding this, it doesn't make the glue so hot. Of course, we have this rope that we're keeping between us and the glue. But anyway, I really do like that. I like the fact that it's cordless. And I believe I got it at Hobby Lobby. I think it was around $20. And it just has the base, which is plugged in. And you just set the gun on there and it charges. Okay. Here we are. Already we've used up another of our rope. You can see how that's looking. Okay, we're starting on number 3. Just get that started. I'm just gonna, you can see that, butt the rope up to the end of the other, and I'm just holding that because it does have that plastic on it just to make sure I get a good contact. I'll take a moment and put some more glue in my gun. We may have a few glue strings that we can easily remove once we're done, although it doesn't seem to be too bad. I'm located in Central Florida in a town called Lady Lake, and the day before yesterday it was 80, and this morning it was 38. So, but the nice thing is before the end of the day we will be in the high 60s. I'm originally from Rhode Island, where our winters, of course, were very cold, with lots of ice and snow. I relocated, let's see, I think it's about 16 years now that I'm here in Florida, and I am enjoying it very much. I'd had enough of that cold weather. The frozen windshields and out there scraping ice. I do not miss that at all. And the Tuesday I got out and was able to play 9 holes of golf with some friends. It was in the mid-70s with blue sky and sun shining. It was just an absolutely beautiful day. I'll tell you a little more about myself. If you haven't watched any of my other videos that I've done, you can find them on YouTube. Inspired by my angel, CLM. But I began my journey wreath making in September of 2020 after losing my job due to COVID. I worked in a small ladies' clothing boutique, which did a very good business, but then COVID hit. And of course, last March, here in Florida and across the country, the owner was forced to close the business, mandatory. And that was March. She was able to reopen in May, but I believe people were just fearful, and she wasn't getting any business. So she had to lay us off and was able to try to hang in there, but by August of last year, she knew she was going to be forced to close. So I would go in as all the girls that worked there. There was a group of 6 of us, and we would volunteer our time to help her out. But anyway, we all lost our job, and she had to close. It was a very sad day, but unavoidable. And I was just thinking to myself, I mean, I am retired, but I was working part-time to supplement my income, and thought, what am I going to do with myself? I've always worked and enjoyed it. And as I said, it was September of 2020, having a lot of time on my hands, you know, cleaning the house and getting ready for the fall season. I thought, gee, I'd like to get a new wreath for the door this year. And my income being down slightly, I mean, I could have afforded it, but I thought I should start looking for ways to save money. So, perhaps like all of you, I went to YouTube and found so many talented people sharing, like we're doing today, how to create. From there, I was on Facebook, many gifted designers willing to share the craft. So after watching a few, I thought, gee, maybe I can do this. So after making a run to the local craft store and buying some supplies, I made a wreath. And it came out really pretty. I got tons of compliments on it, and I was impressed myself. So what really motivated me was I just found such joy making this, creating. And I thought, oh my word, I think I want to make another one, but what am I going to do? So I just started researching and ended up signing up for 2 online classes that teach the art of wreath making, and found my passion. Absolutely love it. And through watching those and following comments that everyone had, decided I'm going to take a leap and open an Etsy shop and sell my wreaths. So that's what I've done, and I am loving every minute of it. So I hope if you find yourself in a similar situation as I did or have, that you'll come along with me on my journey. hopefully I can inspire you and you can see how easy. And perhaps you'll do the same. And my hope is that you'll find a joy the same as I have. So that's what led me to start doing these videos. I thought, well, I was fortunate enough to have those people share with me. So it's time to give back and share what I'm learning with you. Of course, the people I was watching were in business and had been doing it for many years. So I thought it might be interesting to come along with me as a newbie, if you would, and figure it all out together. So that's the reason why I'm doing my videos. And I would like to take this time to say, if you are watching me right now, if you would just subscribe to the channel, that would help me as a small business entrepreneur just getting started. It gets my brand out there and what I'm doing. So that would truly be appreciated. Comments are welcome. I would truly enjoy hearing from those of you that are watching. Also, like, share the video. Those are all ways that you can help me as I go forward with my journey. And it would give me great pleasure if you'd come along with me. Also, visit my Etsy shop. You can see some of the other items that I've created and that are available for purchase. Hit the heart button on my Etsy page. That will help me as well, and it will also allow you to be notified when I add something new to my shop that you might be interested in. And I would greatly appreciate that as well. Okay. Looks like I need to add some more glue. And I already forgot our count on our rope. I think this was... was this 4? I already forgot. I believe it was. Add a little more glue. We're almost to the end of this, but I did buy extra. I'm so glad I did. If I run out before this is finished, I will come back on and we'll finish it together when I get the additional supplies if they're needed. And we will do the arrangement together as well. Again, I'm just applying the glue to the top of the previous rope that we placed. Also, letting that glue touch the plastic pot at the same time. Okay. This is nice if you just wanted to cover a wastebasket or planter and just do it in the rope. It's got that nice natural farmhouse look to it. Possibilities are endless, right? We can think of all kinds of applications. This is more what I did. I had never made wreaths before. I was more doing crafts, small crafts, you know, kind of cutesy things, and enjoyed it. But wreath making took me on a whole other journey. Who knew? They say when one door closes, another opens. So come with me on the journey and see where it brings us. And hopefully you'll learn with me. I'll share with you what I'm learning in my design classes when it comes to designing with the florals and making wreaths. I also do have learned deco mesh, how to do that. I have a video out there of us making a deco mesh wreath, some centerpieces, lantern swags, wreaths for all the seasons and different occasions, holidays. It should be fun. I know I'm enjoying it. Okay, we're almost to the end of this one. And I think this was the 4th package of the rope. I believe there's, just so you'll know if this is something you want to do, because I mean you could buy probably a large hank of rope at home improvement store. But I believe, as soon as I go grab another one, I believe it's 9.5 feet was in the package from Dollar Tree. Okay, let me grab another one. You can see that. Yes, 9.5 feet, and it's 2.8 millimeters thick. I don't think I would go any thinner than this, but you could certainly go thicker. And this was just something I decided yesterday and went out and purchased these items. I did not check at my home improvement store. Maybe there's a better deal, although it would be hard to beat Dollar Tree. But if this is something that I like the way it comes out and want to make others, I will definitely investigate that and let you know. Okay, it's starting to taper up. There was no video on making this a container for a centerpiece. So that is going to be trying to figure out how we're going to do that. Because, I mean, it would show you how to finish off the skep, but not with leaving an area to be able to create your floral design. And that's why I had told you earlier, I did purchase this ball, which I thought I could cut in half and give it a domed effect and come up a little bit on that and just leave an opening that we'll cover with moss and then do our arrangement. And I also bought discs that they sold at Dollar Tree that would just keep it flatter, but you wouldn't see it. Just want to see if this gives us that shape and you'll be able to recognize that it is a bee skep. try to stand up straight and stop putting my head in the way. I apologize if I'm blocking the view. I'm very proud of myself. So far, I haven't burnt myself. I probably shouldn't say that. Oh, you can see it's pretty easy. And these would be fun to make. Like I said, my passion is for the wreath making. And there's all kinds of embellishments that you can add, signs and ornaments and so forth to your wreaths. These would be cute if you were doing a bee-themed wreath, just to make very small ones that you could attach as an embellishment to your wreath as well. Okay, we're getting there. I actually would enjoy so much if you left me a comment as to how I'm doing, and if you enjoyed learning how to make this bee skep. Will help me grow as being able to teach. If I'm clear, explaining everything to you, all comments will be welcomed. It kind of gives me an idea how, let me know how I'm doing. Ready to add more glue. The glue I'm using is Gorilla Glue. I like that. And it was recommended by many of the designers online. So that's what I use. I always just use the small mini guns, which got very hot, and it took the small glue. These are larger, if you can see that, larger in diameter and longer. But I like this gun. Like I said, I paid, I'm not exactly sure, I think it was $20 or $24, where the little mini ones you can buy for $3.99. This one doesn't seem to make that glue so hot. So to me, it's safer to use. Worth the price, because I have gotten some really bad burns using the less expensive glue guns. I did pick tan as the color for the base. I just thought that if it were going to show through, but it certainly is not, that I would get as close to the color of the rope or jute that I was using. But I don't believe that's necessary. If you have a pot at home, no matter what color it is, you would be fine to just go ahead and use that. Okay, we're finishing up another. into that plastic pot. Let me open up another. Hey, I'm glad I decided to buy extra, not knowing the videos that I did watch, people were making smaller ones, and it wasn't requiring, and they all didn't explain how many they were using either. So I was unsure. I bought 2 pots, and I thought, oh, I'll buy enough of this rope to do 2. That's not going to happen. I'll need to go back and buy some more, but it was only $1. So it'll be a pretty inexpensive project. Like I said, I am going to use this as a base for a centerpiece, but if you wanted to just use it as a decorative piece wherever, and finish this up with the rope, that would be your only investment, how much rope you use. And for this particular size, I believe it was a 10-inch pot. I have another one here. Let me just see what the size is. 10 inches, 25.4 centimeters is the size that I'm using. And it looks like we're going to need 6. At least 6 if you were going to just finish this, not going higher at the top that I may be doing. You could do this project for $6, $7, maybe $7. If we weren't using the hot glue gun, I would say this would be a nice project to do with your kids, but would be a little afraid to have them working around a glue gun like this. But certainly if you decided you wanted to decorate the outside, that's something the kids could do. Just attach little bees and maybe some little flower heads and let them decorate the way they'd like. That would be fun. So I hope everyone is doing well today and staying safe with the COVID. And this is a nice getaway from all the negativity on the news, just to come out and create. Gives you a little quiet time. I can only hope that everyone will be vaccinated soon and will be finished with this terrible pandemic. So many lives lost, so much sorrow. certainly goes a little quicker when you get up to the narrower part. You can see it's still got a little further to go. We'll finish this one up, and then I think what I would do, in case you just wanted to be making the skep, because I'll need to cut some of this foam and use more rope. So let me start on another package. I'm just going to finish it up to the top, and then I'll stop at that point and I'll come back and do a second video showing you how I figure this out, and do our floral arrangement. So right now we'll just finish getting to the top of our planter, and then I'll show you what they did for the opening, so I'm not leaving you midstream. Add some more glue. Okay, we're almost there. I did just upload a video yesterday morning on YouTube making a tulip wreath. That came out really nice and is available in my Etsy shop if you're interested in learning how to make a tulip wreath, check out that video. And if you're interested in a wreath for your door, or this came out so pretty. It didn't have a bow. It was a full tulip all the way around. It could be laid on your dining room table. Perhaps put some decorative bunny and a candlestick in the center. It would just make a beautiful arrangement on a table, as well as a wreath for the door. Please watch that and share your comments with me. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. As you can see, I'm all the way to the top, and I need to, the next step for me to make this a base for a arrangement is going to be to figure out how I'm going to put my foam and finish that off. And I'm going to wait and include that in the making of our arrangement. So I'm just going to end this here, but I'd like to go ahead and show you how they made the opening to the skep. So if you decide to just make the skep, what they did here is they would start gluing side to side, bringing it up, wind some rope, make a loop, and then close this whole center top off in rope with the hanger. But we're going to stop there. And what I saw them do was to create the opening for the skep. Just see if I can. Oh, that's not going to work. Just tip this up for you. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Not too close to the bottom, but not way up to the top either. What they did was they took a piece of the twine and formed an opening. And I think I would like mine right about there. The ridge on the pot is giving me a good placement, because I'm going to have florals out and I don't want to cover this when I make my arrangement in it. So this is what they did. They just got the size, and I think that size would be good right there. So I'm just going to mark that. Let me cut my rope. Okay, so what I'm going to do is apply a small dab of glue, get this end down, hold it just for a minute. I'm going to apply another dab of glue on those ends because I did cut and I don't want that to unravel. And I'm just going to butt the end here up to it, not get my fingers in the glue. I just use the end of my scissor to tap that down. Once the glue cools down a little, we can touch it. Okay? And now I'm just going to hold that up, and I'm going to apply the glue to the rope, the back side. Just a small bead, so because we don't want to have the glue oozing out. And then just press that down. So that gives us that raised opening. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then what they did was they took black paint. They also said you could use a marker. I forgot to bring one out with me. Let's just use our paint. Some people used a piece of cardboard. There were various ways that people were doing this. I personally watched a lot of the videos, and the one where they painted was the one that I liked the best. You can be the judge of seeing how I'm doing this, sharing this with you, and perhaps watch some other videos and get some other ideas. I probably should have opened this paint before I came out. I didn't realize it was going to be such a project. And this too, I just picked it up at the dollar store along with a brush. I'm just going to put a piece of paper down so then let's see what it says here. Get my little brush, and I just bought like a stencil brush because I felt like I would probably get the best coverage with a dabbing motion, and I could have used another type, but I thought this might work just fine. So let's get this open. Just going to put a little paint on my brush. Inside, giving the illusion that you're seeing inside the Skep. Just being careful. I'm just wiggling the brush back and forth to get it in between the fibers of the rope. And this little stencil brush is working out really well because it's a little thicker and stiffer. Okay. Yeah, it's working out really well. And I like this better than a piece of cardboard because to me the dampness, if you have this, I mean I would use this in a protected area, you know, on a porch, out on your patio. But anyway, dampness would, I would think, would cause the cardboard to buckle. So I'm thinking I like the idea of using the paint. So you can see we've got the opening to our Skep. I mean, now you could take a few florals, maybe have a little floral attached. As I said, I did pick up these little bees at Michael's. That would look cute just to have a little bee entering. But I'm going to use this as a container for making an arrangement. So I just wanted to show you what I've done. I went ahead and I took the foam ball that I had purchased at Michael's, cut it in half, and adhered that to the top of our pot. Then I took some additional rope and brought it up over the edge of the styrofoam. I also took a piece of cardboard, cut it to the dimension of the pot, covered it with some felt, and again went around one more time with my rope You can see we got a nice clean coverage. So this is the Skep finished, ready to do a floral arrangement.